If this is you, Mom, cut it out. Just cut it out. Oh, cut the chaos. Then today's video is just for you. From my home, my heart to your heart. Let's deal with those toddler toys. Hi friends, my name is Sarah and I am behind the blog My Home, Your Home, Our Home, and of course also this channel on YouTube. I am so happy that you found this channel today and this video, and I really hope that it speaks to your situation and your needs. I would love to invite you to join our community here by clicking the subscribe button and also the bell notification so that when new videos are uploaded, you will be among the first to see them. Now, I apologize if there are bird sounds in the background of today's video. There are a lot of pigeons in the place where my family is currently staying, and I don't have any control over them, so we'll just count it as the background music. But hopefully you are in a good place to sit down or keep working and listen, because I have a lot of tips today to share with you about toddler toys. These are things that I have received as advice from other moms, from books, from other people who have experience with toddlers, and also who have managed their homes well. If you are like most moms, then you feel frustrated and a bit anxious when you see all the toys that your toddler has. And it seems to grow and grow and grow by the day. Everyone in your life wants to bless your family and your toddler with amazing toys, and that is wonderful, and that should be a big sign of love. However, as a mom, it feels like our lives get more full and full and full as our toddler's toy stash grows and as they grow and learn to play better. All of these things are great things, but learning how to manage them is the key to keeping these things from becoming problems and issues in our homes. My intention and my goal in this video is to help you get more of a handle on your toddler's toys so that you can bring peace and joy to your home. And this is not about taking joy from toddlers and making their lives all compartmentalized. Instead, I have noticed, and other moms have noticed as well, that when we have a good system for toys and we don't have too many toys in our home and a lot of chaos with the toys, everyone enjoys it more. There's more peace and there's more enjoyment of being together, playing together, and having what we have. There's a lot of gratitude and contentment. This is all about letting our children enjoy their toys while also creating a welcoming home that is an enjoyable environment for everyone. These pieces of advice are not complicated. They just require follow-up by mom and dad. And this, I have learned, is the biggest part of me actually getting anything into my toddlers' lives, is me having the self-discipline to follow up with what I say and also to keep systems going. My family has used all of these strategies over the years. We have dropped some, we have picked up other ones, but we have at least used all of these at some point or other, and some we continue to use because we find them to work really well for our situation and family. Now, you may not find all of these helpful to your specific situation, but I hope you will find some that help you. Just see what works for you and your family. Advice number 1, call down on your toys regularly. Don't just do this one time in your life and think that you're gonna be good to go. Toys somehow keep showing up. It's like they almost self-propagate in our home. I don't know how we get so many toys. We have to keep going through them. Some different things that I think about when I'm going through my toddler's toys are, first, what toys have they not been playing with? Which ones are getting ignored, aren't really useful, and are just taking up space? Which ones have they outgrown? This could be one reason why they're not playing with them, but it could also just mean that it's not really age appropriate anymore and they're not enjoying it as much as they once did. Which ones are broken or missing parts? If we don't have all the pieces together and it doesn't work, why do we keep it? If we really enjoy that toy, we can look for replacement pieces, replacement parts. The thrift store is a good place to look for that, or we can just give it away or throw it out. And if a toy is broken, trash. Or if we have the time and are able to do it, we can try to fix it ourselves. Piece of advice number 2, if calling down on your toys doesn't work for you, try toy rotations. This is something that we tried very briefly, but we don't have enough toys to really do this. We put some toys in a closet and we would get them out occasionally, or we would save them for special times. This created more fun and excitement in our son. He did not get so bored with his toys, and so he used to them that they didn't mean anything to him anymore. Instead, he anticipated when we opened that closet, we were going to get something new out. You as a family can try this too. Some people do a toy rotation where they put toys in specific bins and say this is for this month or this month or this month. You can put toys in bins and then choose, maybe you get 3 out this week and you put 3 back in. And so you're always refreshing your toys, always getting something new out without having to buy new toys. And that's something that's really nice. This can also be really money saving for you, as well as helping your children to be content with what they have and also excited with what they have, exploring new opportunities. The benefit of a toy rotation is that it keeps the toys fresh and interesting. If you have all your toys out at one time, it's kind of like having too much candy out. You know, Christmas time when you eat everything and then you just feel sick of it. Well, that's kind of like toys. So a toddler can kind of sample everything but not really enjoy one thing to its maximum potential and then kind of be done with it all. What I have noticed when we had done toy rotations is that my son really plays really well with a toy. Just 1 toy or 2 toys or 3 toys that he would otherwise ignore if he had a mountain of toys out. So it actually helps him to enjoy the toys more. Piece of advice number 3, change your storage options. We found that when we changed how we were storing the toys, our son was able to keep them more together. We have tried using a big wide basket that was easily accessible to our son. It stayed on his bedroom floor, and that is my favorite way to store toys. However, we moved and all we had for an option was a storage bin. It was pretty deep, so our son had to dump out everything in order to find things because it wasn't very wide, but it was rather deep. And so this, of course, led to more toddler toy messes. For me as the mom, I realized right away that the culprit was the storage. It wasn't exactly that my son was being less responsible with his toys or not playing with them or something like that. It was that the storage option was not the best for him to be able to see them. When a toddler can't see the toys, or when you can't see the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle or the parts of something that you're working on, you tend to pull it all out, right? Well, that's just the same with the toddler. And so if you have the option of putting toys on a bookshelf and lining them up, or putting them in a wide basket that's easily accessible, viewable, not very deep, your toddler is able to get the specific toy out that he wants without having to take everything out. Now, I know that young toddlers like to take things off the shelves and they like to push everything down, and that's a matter of training. We have trained our son not to just sweep everything off the shelf. That just takes some time, and it does take some follow-up by mom and dad. Speaking of training, this is tip number 4. Make rules about 1 toy at a time. We have used this, I like this a lot, and it also helps with my son's focus. We tell our son that when he gets a toy out, it is just 1 toy. And then when he is done with that toy, he must put it away before he gets out another toy. This has changed slightly as our son has gotten older because he likes to play with various toys together, such as like a car and little animals and Legos all at the same time, and that's fine. But we still have a limit. When he is done with those toys and wants to move on to something else, he has to put those toys away first, and then he can get something else out. This makes it so that his environment is actually rather clean, and he's able to enjoy his toys more. It's easier for him to play, and it's also more enjoyable for us, the parents. I feel like I can enter in without being like So this is one of my biggest pieces of advice for you, one that we have found super helpful. I've heard other moms mention it as well, as just training your child when they're done with something, they need to put it away. And an age for this, we actually started training our son to do this pretty much as soon as he could walk. But when he was just around 16 months old, we started teaching him to put his toys away and to get 1 toy out at a time. Tip number 5. This comes from Gary Ezzo in his book Toddler Wise and his other book Pre-Toddler Wise, and I really have enjoyed that series for our family. No parenting book will fit every single family in the world 100% of the time, so take this with a grain of salt, do what works for your family. In Gary Ezzo's book, he recommends having guidelines around where toys are allowed to go in the house, and I really appreciate this as a mom because when I am cooking dinner, I don't want to be slipping all over toys or stepping on Legos. So one of his recommendations is having toy baskets in various places throughout the house where a toddler is allowed to play. I don't usually do this. I just keep my toys within one room and they stay there. For us right now, that is our living room because we're in an apartment temporarily, but For our other house that we used to live in, my son had his bedroom, and it was a big enough room for him to have his toys in there, and we just kept the toys in that room. If toys came out into the living room, it was to play with us as the parents, and they immediately were put away when we were done. So having guidelines around where the toys go in the house can be really helpful for keeping spaces, common spaces especially, cleaned up, so that when your guest walks in the door, you're not scrambling to clean up all the toys that are on the floor or trying to keep them from stepping all over a big mess. We as a family really like this rule. I will link the books by Gary Ezzo in the description box below if you'd like to check those out. They have been very helpful for me as a mom, extremely practical and very helpful in understanding developmental stages and what my child can handle at each stage. Tip number 6, teach your toddler to clean up. My family has a song from Barney that we always sing when we clean up toys. It is, clean up, everybody everywhere. Clean up, everybody do your share. And my son starts humming this when we start cleaning up, even if I haven't started singing. He knows that this is the time to clean up. So having those little signals put in your toddler's mind, established there in your family as like the sign that this is the time for cleaning up is really helpful. My son usually will help clean up. We have dealt with a few bits of resistance as he has gotten older and is now 2.5, but he usually will help clean up, and I of course am there with him and helping him clean up, but he participates and he's doing it as well. And we are now in the stage of teaching our second son how to clean up as well, and he will start dancing with us with this song. It makes the time more enjoyable as a family, and it doesn't make it just drudgery. Tip number 7, build cleanup routines into your day. As a family, we have times of cleaning throughout our day. Usually this is before bedtime, before a meal, and immediately after we have had a toy session and maybe we're going outside. Now, find those times throughout your day that are just natural for you guys to stop and to clean up everything that has been pulled out. My last tip number 8, is probably the most helpful for very little kids, and that is to store sets of things with little parts or lots of parts in a place where only you as the parent can reach them. This has been important for my family because we have a younger son who puts everything in his mouth, and so these things are a choking hazard for him, but my older son loves playing with them. These are things like counting bears and fingerprint activities and little pieces from a medical doctor kit and a construction kit. My son wants to play with these and I want him to be able to play with them, but we keep them in a high up place where I can get them out when he is alone and my other son is napping, or where he can be supervised with them. So these pieces don't get lost throughout the house. They don't get into places where they should not be because they're always supervised. I recommend, if you do choose to have these kind of toys in your house that have a lot of pieces in them, keep them in a place where you have supervision over them, and that kind of cuts out a lot of the mess that's involved in those toys. When these toys are out, it's time that you get to spend with your toddler as the parent. You get to play with them with these toys, or you get to at least be in the room with them or supervising them. Your attention is on them and they know it, and that's something special as well. These toys are special, and also this time is special where they get to play with it because they have you. Those are all the tips I have for cutting the toddler toy chaos in your home. If you're wanting some advice for keeping your home clean while you have toddlers so that guests can always come into your home and you feel peaceful in your home, check out my other video about a guest-ready home. It's linked in the description box below. Also, I'm so excited to share with you, if you have not heard yet, this year is the year of the Life-Giving Home Challenge. This is a book study centered around Sally Clarkson's book, The Life-Giving Home. I have heard great things about Sally Clarkson, and when I started reading her, I loved her. I think that you will love her too. This is a year where we as women are going to be encouraging each other, building each other up, and helping one another to build homes that are welcoming, secure, comfortable, peaceful, beautiful places to be. And we have Facebook live streams, blog posts, videos, and a Facebook group that you can get involved in. Be sure to check out the link in the description box below for more information about how you can participate in this year-long challenge. It is totally free. You do not have to pay anything. Just get your own copy of the book and we will study it together. There are several different bloggers and YouTubers and myself who are participating in this, and I have their links in the description box below. If you'd also like to check out their channels and subscribe to them, they are wonderful. They're great resources, and I'd love for you to go and check them out. That's all for today's video, and I'm so grateful that you came and spent this time with me today. I really hope that you have a very peaceful home, even with toys, even with toddlers. It is possible. If this video was helpful to you, give me a thumbs up. If you don't think that these tips were very helpful in your case, also give me a thumbs down. Either one of these is great feedback for me because I really want to help you. I really want to cater to your interests and your needs as my friends here on YouTube. So let's make this a great community together. Introduce yourself in the comments below. Tell us about different things that you're dealing with keeping your home clean, or different things that you just want to share with us as a community here. I love to connect with you guys, and I will see you in the next video. See you next time. Bye.